Hi, good morning. My name's Max. Oh, good afternoon. It could be morning if you're in Perth. Anyway, good afternoon. It's 2 o'clock on Friday, the 1st of October 2021, and this is the first of our daily Mental Moments show. And we'll be doing this every day at 2 o'clock, so set your watches, 2 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time, so it's 1:30 in Adelaide and 1:30 in Darwin. Anyway, 2 o'clock all the way through the month of October, every single day. And it's we're honouring the aged care workers in our community. There's 250,000 of them across the nation, and this is to entertain not just them and honour them, but also we've got 1.5 million people in aged care. So this is for you, and also their families. So there's a lot of families at home who can't get because of lockdowns in a couple of the states. In fact, 3 of the states, and I think Queensland is as well. Anyway, so you can come and join your families and friends. And we're going to be doing live crosses to a lot of the aged care centres across Australia as well during this month. So please join us every day at 2 o'clock. And if you've got any video messages or anything you want to send, go to mentalmoments.com.au and you can send the message there and we'll be playing them throughout the month as well. So we're going to have fun. We've got a great show today. You're going to love the show today. Kamal's here with us. He's warming up. He'll be on with us in just a minute. We've got comedian Paul Martel coming to us. We're going to celebrate Jean's 100th birthday in Mudgery, so we'll be going to say hello to Jean in Mudgery, which is in Queensland. We've got so much on. We'll be playing balloon tennis in West Australia. You're going to love it. Good fun, lots of things to do. I want to do a big thank you to our sponsors. So our sponsors is the Health Services Union. They've done a magnificent job looking after their members, and this is for them. We also want to thank Telstra Health. They're doing a great job too, servicing the aged care community. And also want to say thank you to Hester, who have put money in to help us with this as well. And in addition, this show last year only did New South Wales and the ACT, but Hester awarded it as a special award for outstanding excellence servicing the aged care community. But right now, I want to introduce a friend of mine. His name's Kamal. Everybody knows him, and he's going to open the show. He'll do a song, but he'll be back later on. But right now, please would you welcome, at home or wherever you are, give it a little ripple of applause, Kamal.
Thank you. Thank you. Music, please. Sometimes I stumble home at night, discouraged, dragging my battered dreams behind, wondering if my life is worthwhile living, and why so many people are unkind. But as I disappear into my music, and the song grows deep inside my soul, I know if God wants me to use it, the striving's more important than the goal. And I think, what would I do without my music? What would I do without my song? What would I do without my music to make it right when everything seems wrong? As I lose my worries, dreams start rebuilding strong and hard, and I know as long as I'm singing, I'm a long, long way from losing if I try. What would I do without my music? What would I do without my song? What would I do without my music to make it right when everything's wrong? me hope so I can carry
Thank you.
Thank you. That brings back so many memories, you know.
Now, that song, I believe you sang in 1978 on the Bob Hope Show worldwide.
Yeah, I mean, he recorded segments all over the world. In fact, he recorded some of the segments in Australia as well. But it was a high-rating show in America and England, everywhere else. But even more equally importantly, 1 year before, almost 1 year before, whichever birthday it was, I had my birthday celebration in Amsterdam.
Yes.
Flew that night, came to the JFK airport. I met Bishop, who was he was a music producer. He gave me a bunch of songs, about 12, and I'm a sucker for new music. So I got back to the hotel about 1 in the morning, listened to all of them, and this one, What Would I Do Without My Music? It gave me chills. It was like Schubert's Andi music, if you know classical music. It was like a prayer to music. So I heard it. I had tears in my eyes, and I heard it again, and there was less tears, and finally there was no tears. I found there was something wrong with it. There was a line, second line, why are people's eyes so blind?
Why are people's eyes so blind?
So I didn't like the word line as much, so without speaking to Harry Middlebrook, the composer, I changed it, and when I sang it on the Bob Hope Show with a new line, but I haven't been sued yet.
And the new line was?
Why?
You changed it from why are people's eyes so blind? And what was the line that you created instead of that?
Yeah. Why are people so unkind? Yes, there you are. But I don't get any royalties on it.
Now, while we're on that, so tell us about Hey Hey It's Saturday. You've had a controversy with them, is that correct?
Yeah, look, really, it's kind of a storm in a teacup. I have been putting up with that for a long time. What had happened, they wanted me to come to Melbourne to record the show with Harry Connick Jr.
Yes.
And I said, how do I get there? They said, you've got to pay your own fares. So where do I stay? You have to pay your own accommodation. What will I be doing? They said, you'll be staying in the green room till such time as you're called. And I said, I just realized I got another engagement. I can't come. So the next morning, they said, knock on the door, Channel 7. They said, we'd like to have a chat with you. I said, what is it about? Last night's Hey Hey. I said, what about it? You know, you were a subject of controversy here. So he came in, he said, do you think Hey Hey is racist? I said, no, I am more racist than Hey Hey. You know, in the real sense of the word, because, you know, like I'm married to an Indian girl. Indians and Sri Lankans in Malaysia don't get on. The Sri Lankans think they're a cut above. The Indians are, there are reasons for those sort of things.
Yes.
Anyway, so he was not interested in wanting to know about my racism, because I'm a racist too.
Yes.
You know, nearly as good as you. But
Thank
anyway,
you.
so the long and the short of it was, he was so frustrated, the whole team packed our bags up, and they were about to leave. And the journalist, I forget his name, I'll never forget his face, he turned around, wound down the window, he says, Kamal, are you going to sue Channel 9? I said, what a great idea. What a great idea. Next day, front page news, Channel 9, Kamal sues Channel 9. And in a way, he did me a favor, because I'm getting all this unexpected publicity. So I never, ever, ever complained about the treatment I got at Hey Hey. Maybe I was a little disappointed when I wanted to do my second concert at Carnegie Hall.
Yes.
With Bob Hope going to introduce it. They couldn't be bothered to even talk about it. That's what made me really, I mean, I didn't complain about it. It made me livid. And the idea of hitting me with a white powder, I don't think you could insult anybody more than that.
No. And that must have caused you, we're talking about mental health this month, that must have upset you tremendously at that time, mentally.
How upset I was?
Yes.
I wasn't pleased.
No. Kamal.
I mean, what can you do? You know, your hands are tied. What am I do? You know,
Understood.
Even though I know Rupert, I can't do much about
Understood. You're going to come back and do some more songs shortly?
Try and stop me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kamal, he'll be back with us shortly doing some more songs, and we've also got Paul Martel coming. But right now, I'd like to introduce a message from a very special guest, Her Excellency the Honourable Margaret Beasley, ACQC, the Governor of New South Wales. She's also the patron of the RFBI. Margaret Beasley.
Hello, I am Margaret Beasley, Governor of New South Wales. As patron of the Royal Freemasons Benevolent Institution, I'm honoured to speak to you on the occasion of the launch of the second Mental Moments show to mark Mental Health Month. This is a challenging time for everyone, and especially so for those in aged care. You've worked tirelessly for the last 18 months of the pandemic, and now the highly transmissible Delta strain of COVID-19 has added to the challenges of providing high quality and compassionate care to residents in our aged care facilities. The physical and emotional energy you invest on a daily basis looking after residents and responding to their family members cannot be underestimated. I know how deeply you feel for those in your care, and I suspect you also find yourselves compensating for the physical absence of family and loved ones who would normally be able to visit. So my message to you today is simple but important. Look after yourselves. Take time, switch off, recharge, whether by walking, exercising, doing yoga or reading, which are my go-to mental moments, or painting, which Dennis has again taken up with alacrity, or baking, gardening, knitting, like the Olympic diver Tom Daley, or by just enjoying music performed by others. Which brings me to the 2021 Mental Moments show, which is especially for you, combining music, performance and mental health tips, tools and activities for everyone in the aged care sector. Mental Moments helps you to check in with your well-being, to find those mental health moments that enable you to relax and re-energise, so you can continue to provide that wonderful care for others. On top of that, you're also mums and dads, grandparents, children and family members. Thank you for being the exceptional individuals providing outstanding care in our community. Before closing, I'd like to take this opportunity to offer my congratulations to RFBI on being recognised by the HESTA Excellence Awards for 2021 as a winner in the Outstanding Organisation in Aged Care Award. Now, let's take the first of many mental moments for Mental Health Month. I hope you enjoy the show.
And now let's cross live to our first aged care residents of the month, because we're here every day this month, Saturdays, Sundays as well, 31 days. Every day you'll find us at 2 o'clock at mentalmoments.com.au, and the show will still be up there on the website as well. So hosting us is Llewellyn. Are you there? Llewellyn Campbell, live in West Australia at the Burley Care Home there. How are you?
I'm good, Max. How are you?
I'm good.
We're super excited to be live from WA. We're here at our care home in Birraleigh, and you can probably see a little bit of exciting things going on behind us here. We've got a really fun activity that's helping us kick off Mental Health Month here, and I've got one of our wonderful therapy assistants, Melanie, here with me, who can tell you a little bit about what's going on behind us.
Hi, Melanie. How are you going today?
Hi, Max. Really well, thank you. We just had a game of balloon volleyball. It's about socialisation and
Yes.
inclusion and well-being, because people napping and, it's just nice to have some exercise as well.
Melanie, how would Rafael Nadal go at playing this, do you think?
I think it's losing, because these players are really good.
They look like they're good players. The ball's staying up above the net and they're going back and forth. I know about balloon volleyball. It's balloon tennis in my mind.
Yes, yeah, like that. So we've played the game for about 3/4 of an hour, and it's very, very competitive. So, but concerned about the well-being of our clients, and they chose this activity. and about promoting laughter and, you know, like socialization as well.
It's good to laugh. Tell me, how has COVID been over the last year and a half for you all there at Birrelly?
Yeah, well, it's been hard, obviously really been hard, but we've managed with communicating relatives and staff will help relatives communicate. We've had in-house activities.
Yes.
Yeah, that sort of thing. It's good to get back to normal and have, you know, limited number of people playing, but still, you know, groups of people.
And in terms of visitors, have you been allowed to have visitors come into your home there?
We have now, because we've, you know, relaxed the rules, but obviously we have, you know, check-in. We've got the zip line for check-in, and everyone has to have their flu vaccinations.
Yes.
And, you know, we're looking after our clients.
Okay. Well, thank you personally and to all your team there for the work you're doing and caring for the elderly in our community. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Max. Thank you.
I'm looking forward to coming and playing balloon tennis one day. How good is that, hey?
I know, it's great fun.
Thank you, Lorelli. Thank you. So,
see you guys.
Cheers. How good's that, playing a bit of balloon tennis? I could do that. You know, there are 5 pillars of mental health. And during this month, at mentalmoments.com.au, we'll be looking at each one. Of course, today is Fun Friday because laughter is a very important part of mental health. One of the funniest men in Australia is comedian Paul Martel, and he's here with us now. Paul, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Oh, wonderful. I'm sitting at my bar. I'm going to toast all the carers, the 250,000 wonderful people all around Australia helping these great seniors. So here's to you.
You're a good man.
It's tonic water because it's also the first day of Sober October.
Of course it is.
Irishman, I'm doing Sober October. I need help.
Well, you've got that bottle of Jamison's on the other side. That'll help you tremendously.
Yeah. If it breaks down. Anyway, it's great to be part of it.
Paul, thank you.
Some years ago, Max, that we haven't talked about, but I just thought about it. I entertained at Darling Harbour at the Entertainment Centre for the Premier's Seniors Concert.
Was that Premier Gladys Berejiklian, who's resigned today? Breaking news if you don't know it. Premier of New South Wales, Gladys Berejiklian resigned today. Did you know that, Paul?
I have no idea.
It's because you're in lockdown. That's why nobody knows anything. You're the second person in the last hour. I spoke to Lane Beachley earlier on. She had no idea either.
I've been sitting waiting for you since 9 o'clock this morning.
Okay, news break. Listen, tell me, when did you know that you were funny?
Oh, my goodness. Well, it wasn't straight away. As a kid growing up in the UK, I always loved watching the comedians on the Sunday night at the London Palladium. And you as a young man UK would have watched it as well. All those great comedians. So I loved comedy, but it wasn't my goal. As a kid, I think I wanted to be a vet, or I loved English literature, one of the subjects I excelled in. So I loved reading plays and drama, and strangely, as well as playing soccer in the street with my friends in Belfast, where I was born, I used to, I joined a drama club. And I really had the passion to be an actor. I didn't have enough A levels to get me into university to become a vet. So I thought, I'll be an actor. I didn't want to stay and do a trade because Belfast is an industrial city. We built a Titanic there, and you see what happened to that. Well, my grandfather used to say, when it left us, there was nothing wrong with it. The war hadn't begun. The war's been going for thousands of years, but I left Belfast in 1968 to go to London to go to a drama school. It took a couple of years to get into a full-time drama school. So I worked at BUPA, British Provident Association, as a clerk on the Strand. And at night, I went to drama classes. Then eventually I got into a proper drama school, a full-time drama school. And one particular time, I always remember one of my favorite teachers was a man called Gunduz Kalik. He was a Turkish man. And he said, we're going to do a play by Paul Simon. It's a comedy. So this Friday, I'm getting the rest of the school to come and watch this class do 5 minutes of stand-up comedy.
Wow.
So we had to go away and learn 5 minutes of comedy and come back and perform. Because he said, by doing stand-up, you'll know about timing and timing's critical when you're acting in a play, a comedy. So I started doing that, and so afterwards people kept coming up and said, that was pretty good. Why wouldn't you become a comic? I never thought of it. I also had a friend, he was a Scotsman, who had a wonderful singer. He could sing like Andy Williams or Matt Monro.
Yes.
And this is now the early 70s in London. He started going to talent quests, and we used to go along with him to support him.
Yep.
And he kept winning. He was wonderful. One night we get to a pub in London, you may remember it, the Green Man at Walthamstow.
Yep.
Right? So I get to the Green Man, the compere comes out, and typical Cockney went, "Here, anybody else want to get up on the stage? We only got 3 contestants. We got a Scotsman, a jock, we got a Pakistani going to sing Sinatra, and we got somebody juggling loose sugar. Does anybody else want to get up?" And all my friends at the table said, "He does impressions, he does comedy, get up." So I had enough Guinness in me at the time. So I decided to get up. I did the 5 minutes I did at the drama school. And afterwards, an agent came up and said, "How long can you do?" I said, "I've no idea what that means." He said, "How long's your act?" I said, "I don't have an act. I've got 5 minutes of comedy." He gave me a card and he said, "If ever you can do 20 minutes looking into the mirror, allowing for laughter if you're any funny, you've probably got a 30-minute show." So I went back to trying to get jobs as acting, driving mini cabs in London, got a job painting a hospital once. And then one day I rang him up. I said, "I've learned I've got a 20-minute. I can do 20 minutes of impressions and comedy." So he gave me a job, tried me out, and he started giving me a lot of work. And then one day he rang me up and he said, "They're looking for a comedian to go on a cruise ship that goes to Australia." That was in 1973. And I went along and auditioned. That day, I only heard about the audition that day, and I'd been painting. I got a job painting a church or a fence or whatever. I've arrived at the audition covered in paint, hair. Anyway, speaking of hair, is Gladys gone? Will she let the hairdressers open? Can they go back to work?
Maybe.
It's not a problem to you, but have you seen my hair this long? Ever?
Never.
My wife said that she would cut it, but I'd seen what she did to the dog. Now, let's get back to the story. I go to the audition. Everybody's there with their music for the band, and they've got their CVs, and they all look resplendent in their blazers and cravat. I turn up in jeans, a shirt, covered in paint. And the girl said, "Deliveries round the back." And I said, "No, I've come to audition for the comedy. I want to be the comic that goes on the ship." And that's how I spoke way back then. God, I love that Belfast accent. I still use it now and then when I get telemarketers. Because, Max, when telemarketers ring, I become Liam Neeson from the movie Taken.
How does Liam Neeson sound?
I'm sure I'm frightened of answering the phone when you don't know that. I don't know this number. I'm not going to answer the phone. And I answered it once, and it was somebody trying to sign me up for a betting account. I love horse racing, but I'm not a gambler, right? And it was, "Hello, it's Dennis. Fancy flatter on the ponies," and all that stuff. And right in the middle of him trying to sell me this, I've just gone, "You don't know me, but I've acquired a very special set of skills. Skills that will be detrimental to people like you. If you don't stop ringing this number, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will never ring back." They never ring back. So I do the audition. I go back to my life in London. On the Sunday night, I walk into the pub where I go. And the guy behind the bar said, "Here, did you get the message, Paddy?" I said, "What message?" "Something about going to Australia." Anyway, I rang up the next day and they said, "Paul, we'd like you to have the job that's going to Australia for 3 months. But do you have music for the orchestra?" And I said, "Yes." Now, we know the Pinocchio story where my nose got a little longer. Said, "Do you have a tuxedo with shiny lapels?" I said, "Yes." "Do you have 3 25-minute different routines? 3 routines with different comedy?" I said, "Yes." He said, And do you have a passport? Well, I thought 1 out of 4 is not really a lie.
Is there something else I can help with?
Oh my God. Siri.
Who's on the phone?
That was Siri asking me if there was anything else she could do.
There you go. Don't tell her.
I had no idea. Anyway, so that's how I got to Australia, Max, doing comedy.
Amazing.
And I've done a few gigs for the pension, for the seniors,
Yes.
and also a golf day up in Queensland for Wayne Grady with for the carers. For the carers.
You're a good man. So when you were talking about your dad was going to be a vet, it reminded me of Brian Doyle, our friend who's having a stroke at the moment. He does a line where he says, "My father didn't know whether it was going to be wanted to be a vet and a taxidermist. So outside his shop, it said, either way, you get your dog back."
I like that. Yeah, that's one of Doyley's. And we send our love to Brian. Brian's in hospital at the moment, and we send our love and prayers to Brian Doyle, a wonderful comedian.
Now tell me, impersonations. Who's hard? Who's easy? Who do you love doing?
Okay, well, the hard ones I leave to other people.
Okay.
Right. So, when I started out working, I was doing John Wayne. It's sure lonesome in the saddle since the horse died. I was doing Humphrey Bogart, Rockabye Your Baby, Blue Eyes. Okay, Blue Eyes, you got that? So I've been doing those guys, but then you have to move along a bit. And the audience are getting sort of younger in various corporate functions that I'll work at. So you got to throw in your Matthew McConaughey's and your well, I think Jimmy Stewart was replaced by Nicolas Cage because Nicolas Cage was so dramatic. Everything was, "You're so beautiful. I thought maybe we could have dinner. I know a restaurant that serves duck. Then I'll take you home and kiss your face off." But with an ugly face like it's so easy to do De Niro, I can turn around and go, "No, are you talking to me? No, Doc. My training at drama school, I would do Richard Burton. "Guinevere, my queen, my love, my liege. No force on earth there. No power in all of Christendom will keep us apart. And betrothed to love. Iago." So those voices. Gregory Peck, I love. I met Gregory Peck. It was a highlight. Oh, he was just a giant of a man, 6'5", 6'6", just a quiet gentleman. And I always remember Gregory Peck playing MacArthur in that movie.
Yes.
When he says to the Marines, he said, "All right, man, let's bed down for the night. Tomorrow we meet the enemy. I realize there are 3,000 of them and only 6 of us. Now it's possible a few of you men will not come back." Anyway, there you go. Some of the fun voices.
Tell me, the pandemic. I mean, how have you found the pandemic and being in lockdown?
Okay, well, 13th of March 2020 was the Friday of the Grand Prix in Melbourne. And I was doing a lunchtime in Melbourne, and it was announced that it was cancelled. The Grand Prix was cancelled. All functions with I don't know, 100 people were all cancelled.
Yes.
So I raced back to the airport. The airport was a nightmare. And my plane was like at 6 p.m. I got home at like 2 a.m. in the morning. And the following day, the 14th of March, I did a function in Sydney. It was my last gig for 7 months.
Wow.
7 months until November the 3rd was my first job after the 14th of March. And work started to pick up, but with opening and closing of borders, we get cancelled. Thankfully, I've got some friends in Queensland that a couple of weeks ago, my good friend Darren Carr, the ventriloquist that, Darren now lives up in Queensland. I was booked to do a function for horse racing fraternity in Cairns, and Darren covered that. I was to go to Western Australia. Don't get me started with those guys.
No.
So it's very difficult. I live.
Are there any funny lines out of the pandemic?
Well, I live in an LGA that's a hot spot on Georges River. Max, it's safe to say my wheelie bin has been further than I have. It's been out more than I have. And when I went out to bring it back in, my wife had put a QR code on the door to check into my own house to get in. in your wildest dreams, did you ever think it would be okay to walk into a bank and wear a mask? I mean, we can do it all the time. We can do it all the time. How's my suntan?
Is that from? Where's that from?
I haven't been in the sun. That's from the light in the fridge. I'm not saying I'm drinking more, but I'm not drinking less. Irish people have got responsible drinking practice. You know what responsible drinking is in Ireland? Not spilling any. This pandemic, the virus, the spread of this virus comes down to two factors. One, how dense the population is, and two, how dense the population is.
Very good. Very
I'm
good.
a double vex. I've got my vex. My wife's got my vex. We're all ready to go. We're all ready to go.
Now, your wife is Jane Scarley, and we're going to be playing a clip of Jane Scarley, I think, today. I'll ask, are we playing it today, guys? Yeah, we're playing Jane's show at the end of the show.
Oh, so. Well. She's out walking the dogs. We have 2 dogs and a cat. And as I mentioned...
we're going to meet your dogs, Charlie and Mia, and your cat, Jack, tomorrow. We've got a little pet segment, and you kindly have recorded a message for us, which we'll play in tomorrow's show. That's Saturday the 2nd of October at 2 o'clock on mentalmoments.com.au, Paul.
Oh, it's been a great pleasure, and I wish all the carers, because I met some of them up in Queensland when I did that golf day, and when I met the seniors at the Premier's concert, we were entertaining 10,000 people each show at the seniors concert.
Amazing.
Oh, it was just a thrill to see their faces and to hear their laughter. It was wonderful.
And that day will come back again, Paul, I promise you.
Let's hope so. Let's pray to God. Thank you for
so
inviting me.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Cheers. Paul
Bye,
Martel.
everyone. Bye.
Paul Martel, amazing talent. Love him. Now, all this month we'll be playing messages we receive from you, our viewers. So please send messages, go to mentalmoments.com.au, upload a message, give me a video, words, but just send us messages, we'll be playing them. But our first message is from Mirren McKenzie. Her mum Margaret is at Weary Dunlop Aged Care, which is in Wheelers Hill in Melbourne, Victoria. Let's have a listen now. We're looking for answers.
I need to say a huge thank you to everybody at Weary Dunlop for looking after my mum so well. I know our whole family appreciates it, but me personally, I know the challenges that you guys face, and I, from the bottom of my heart, can't thank you enough for everything you're doing, not just for my mum, but for all the residents. And as far as the management goes, thank you. You guys shut down hard to start with, and we as a family are so happy you did. I have heard from staff members how well you are treating them, and that is the key to doing this successfully. And you've got an amazing team of staff, right from the cleaners, the laundry, the kitchen, the lifestyles, the nurses. There's nobody at Weary Dunlop that doesn't deserve a friggin' huge medal. You guys always do an amazing job, but I thank you from the bottom of my heart that the level has increased from your normal high standards to a magnificent level of keeping our mums safe through this pandemic. And I need you guys to look after yourselves and each other so that you're all not overloaded too much. I realise there's an overload anyway going to happen, but we appreciate it and we love you guys for everything you do, and we seriously can't thank you enough. So keep doing what you're doing, keep being amazing, and hopefully at the end of all this we can, I think the coffee's gone, I think we need to have a drink. So you guys look after yourselves, please, and keep looking after my mum so well.
Thanks, Mirren. And I'd love to have a drink with you too, like have a drink with Duncan. Anyway, you too can upload a message. Just go to mentalmoments.com.au, click the Submit a Message tab, upload yours, and we'll feature it on the show. Right now, I want to thank one of our sponsors, is Hester, and we're going to have a little message from Hester. Here we go. Kamal, it's thank you for being here. So I really appreciate it.
I could do.
You're going to do some songs for us?
Yeah. I mean, actually, I think Amazing Grace, the man who wrote the arrangement is no longer with us, Eric Cook. He was a British musician who was here for, not to be confused with Eric Jupp, Eric Cook. And he did some wonderful arrangements, and Amazing Grace is one of those. You know.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy Kamal.
And the music of Eric Cook.
And the music of Eric Cook. He obviously cooked up a lot of good music. Okay. Kamal.
Thank you, Maestro. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to, and grace my fears relieved. How precious is that grace of the hour I first believed. Through many dangerous toils and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace hath brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first Wow. The music brings back so many memories of Eric Cook. 1970s, in the 70s, we did so many musics together. Now, a break from music, because even though I sang a song called What Would I Do Without My Music, but it is words that matter to me more than, no disrespect to music. It is the words that I can communicate best with. And, life is a journey. And for any journey, you have a map. And there are a lot of maps. There are a lot of books, religious books and other books and all that. But I came across these set of words. In fact, I heard it in 1972. Cut a long story short, it was written by Max Ehrmann in 1927. And for me, it is possibly the best set of words to express the way of life. If you are lost, here are the words to put you back on the road again, called Desiderata. Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexatious to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter. For always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own, whatever it is. It's your real position in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery, but let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself, especially do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love, for in the face of love and aridity, it is perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive God to be. And whatever your labors and aspirations, in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With it all shame and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful. Yes, be cheerful. Strive to be happy. That's it. Music plays, we'll sing your song. Yes, this brings back memories. 1960, Adelaide, Paul Robeson. There's an old man called the Mississippi. That's the old man that I like to be. What does he care if the world's got troubles? What does he care if the land ain't free? Old Man River, that old man River, he must know something, but don't say nothing. He just keeps rolling. He keeps on rolling along. He don't plant potatoes, he don't plant cotton, and them that plants them is soon forgotten. But old man, he just keeps rolling along. You and me, we sweat and strain, bodies all aching and racked with pain. Tote that barge, lift that bale, He's a little drunk and he loves oh, it's weary and sick of trying. I'm tired of loving and feet are dying. An old man river, he just keeps rolling on. That's it. Do that, yeah. If you got time for another one? There is or there is?
Always,
Okay.
always. I could sit here all day and listen to
Okay,
you.
now this, you won't believe it. I sang this in 1971. It was too soon. I had no idea what I was singing about, but this is definitely, every word has meaning, and I hope you do keep doing things your way. Let me do things my way. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my regrets. I had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and much more than this, I did it mine. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels. And of the world, the one who kneels, the record shows I took the blows and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried. I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it mine. Oh, what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels. And of the world, the one who kneels, corrected shows I took the blows and did it my
Kamal, thank you so much for being with us
Pleasure
today.
was mine. Yeah.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Amazing voice. Kamal, ladies and gentlemen, how good is that? How good is that?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kamal. Great man. And he'll be, he tells me, 87 next month. There you go, 87 next month. But still like he's 21. Now, let's go to another of our residences around the country. Corinity Cedarbrook on the Gold Coast in Mudgery is a special day today because one of their residents, Jean Diet, is 100 years old today. Let's take a look now. 100 years old now today.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Grants. Happy birthday to you. A whole century. Hip, 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 hooray! Hip, 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 hooray! Hip, hip, hooray!
Hey, thank you.
Good luck, man.
And lovely to see you all there together.
Oh, it's wonderful. Yeah. No, it's wonderful. Yeah, big kiss, big hugs.
And where's India Pearl?
She is over at Auntie Natalie's, and I'll put her in the call in a minute. So, I can add her.
Oh, lovely.
No, I can't. She can't. Sorry, no, I can't. No.
That's okay. I'll catch up with her sooner or later.
Have a wonderful day, Mum.
Okay.
Just saying, we couldn't do it
Thank
the
you,
other way.
honey. And thanks for my special birthday present, Rob. It looks wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's great, Mum. We've got something to look at today, friends. So you've got 3 generations. Look, is it almost? No, 2 generations. Miss one.
Thank
Missing
you.
one.
Thank you, darling.
Okay, sweetheart. We love you.
Love you
Have a
too.
wonderful day.
Now, don't go away in case we need you.
Okay, we're right here.
Whereabouts are you?
I'm down at AEST.
Oh, right.
Yes.
So you were an early bird too this morning.
I was.
I was up at daybreak.
How were you? But you're
Yeah.
looking good.
I had a very, very good night last night and a very good morning.
That's
And
great.
I'm so happy I can still dress myself. Take my time, not rush it.
Yeah.
Okay, darling.
Okay. Love you, Grants.
Love you very much, darling.
Stay well.
You're a special girl in my eye.
I'm what, sorry?
You're a very special girl in my eye and mine.
It's been a long journey.
I know.
Yeah.
And the journey's not over. But I'll just
Not
show,
by much.
I'll show you the cake.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Very good.
And thank you for these, Robbie.
Yes, darling.
I thought I'd lost all those photos.
No, I found them.
And this is the flowers from Linda and family.
Yes, lovely. Balloons.
And they're the other flowers and all my cards from the Queen.
Wow. Oh.
And you're up there, Kathy, on the
Up on the wall? Yep.
on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm very comfortable here, darling,
Oh, that's good.
and very well looked after.
Yeah.
And it's become quite like I don't want to run away anymore.
You don't want to let it go.
I've certainly done enough traveling.
That you had.
And
Yes.
when I turned 100, I wanted to jump out of an aeroplane, but the doctors assured me
Skydiving, you want to do?
my bones are too fragile. But I can't complain. I've done so much.
You have.
Yeah.
We've had some wonderful times, Grace.
And we had some wonderful times together, Kathy.
Especially driving across the Narwhal. You will never forget. Hey?
I know.
How amazing. Jean's 100 years old in Mudgery Bar. They're in lockdown, so all the family, they had a party planned, but of course they couldn't have it today, but I'm sure they'll have it another time. And how good is Jean? She knows how to use a mobile phone and very lucid. I hope I'm like that when I'm 100, if I make it there. But and the letter from the Queen there, I don't know if you saw that in the video with the big yellow Elizabeth on it. Just amazing. So wonderful to see that. And thank you to Jean and her family for letting us share that with everybody today. So 100 years old, there's something we can all look forward to, getting to 100. You know, it is about the carers, this not just today, but all this month. We're doing this every day at 2 o'clock, by the way. Saturday, Sunday, 7 days a week. And the hard work the carers are doing, protecting everyone on the front line. We've got a message now from Mike Gunner, who was on Married at First Sight, but he does Mike Gunner tattoo hairlines. So let's have a message from Mike Gunner now, a friend of mine. Mike, you're on.
Aged care workers, you are amazing, and the work you do is so important. I myself recently had an experience where I had to take care of my elderly aunt and uncle for a little bit over a month while they stayed with me in my home. They themselves were between homes, and so I was their carer for that period. Now, it wasn't all just making cups of tea and playing mahjong. It was making their meals, running out for their prescriptions, doing bits and pieces around the place, and generally making them feel comfortable and welcome. Now, love them as I might, it was exhausting, I must say. But doing this every day as a career, I don't doubt takes its toll on you emotionally and mentally, for that matter. Especially the fact that in the last couple of years, your role, your job has been exacerbated by all these extra precautions you would have to take due to COVID. Now, I can imagine that it would take its toll on you over those years. And, well, you'd probably want to turn to someone to explain to them how you're feeling and get things off your chest. I don't doubt there's any number of organisations and groups you could turn to, family and friends. Your work colleagues would no doubt be really useful to just talk to about how you're feeling. But I think it was really worthwhile reminding you guys how important the work is that you're doing. The elderly are important members of our society, and they need our love and care, and that's what you provide them. Now, you're probably wondering who this is. This is little Molly, and she is, well, she's my best friend sometimes. And I can tell you she's caught more than a few tears in my times of crisis. But nonetheless, I suppose it doesn't matter where you turn to as long as you've got someone or something, for that matter, to speak to. And don't be afraid to open up and have a chat about what's on your mind. Anyway, guys, it's great to meet you. Please keep up the awesome work that you're doing. Like I said, it is so important to the rest of society that the elderly are taken care of, and also yourselves, for goodness sake. All the very best, and take care.
Thank you to Mike Gunner up there on the Gold Coast with his dog Molly. Molly's a great dog. Well done, Mike. And what's coming up this week? Because this is only Friday. It's only the first of the month. All this week we've got Miss Australia Sarah Marshke, and she'll be singing, making her debut on television or video, however you want to call it, magicmoments.com.au. Psychologist Dr. Hannah Correll with her tips on maintaining good mental health during a pandemic. Messages from Ray Hadley, the New South Wales Health Minister Brad Hazzard, and triple Olympic gold medalist Emily Seaborn. And we're on air every day at 2 o'clock, so don't forget you can watch anytime. I want to thank the sponsors, HSU, the Health Services Union, Hester, and Telstra Health. Thank you so much for your support. To finish off, it's Young Talent Time's 50th anniversary this year. It first hit our airwaves on the 24th of April 1971 and became one of Australia's most loved family shows. This year, the team got back together to celebrate. They produced a 4-hour special reminiscing about the show. If you'd like to take a look, just visit youngtalenttime.tv. And this month, we'll be featuring songs from the Young Talent Time team every day. Today, let's have a song from Jane Scarley. So Jane is one of the original members of the team from 1971. She's hugely successful, still a force in the entertainment industry. Here's Jane singing. Looking forward to seeing Jane, Young Talent Time team. Cheers.
When trumpets were mellow and every gal only had one fellow, no need to remember when, 'cause everything old is new again. Dancing at your Long Island jazz age parties, wait up, bringing some more Bacardis. We'll order now what we ordered then, 'cause everything old is new again. Bring out your white suit, your tap shoes and tails. Let's go backward when fun fails. New stars thought were long dead, now offering beside your bed. Don't throw the past away, you might need it some rainy day. Dreams can come true again, and everything old is new again. Bring out your white suit, your tap shoes, tails. Let's go back to when falling fails, and leave Greta Garbo alone. Be a movie star on your own hand. Don't throw your past away, you might need